Keling endi bu yerda why does the professor talk about steel? Nima uchun professor steel haqida gaplashganligini topishga harakat qilaylik. Professor, so endi boshlaymiz. We have reproductive parts, the seeds, the fruit walls, and we have leaf plant parts, but the great majority of plant fiber come from vasculature within the stem. Fibers that occur in stem material. What do we do is consider these fibers. Basically, they are what are called bast fibers. Bast fibers. Now, basically, bast fibers are parts of the plant that plant uses to maintain vertical structure. Think about it this way. What's the first thing you see when you see a building being built? What's the first thing they put up besides the foundation? Of course, the metalwork, right? They put all the steel girders up there, framework. Okay, well, think of bast fibers basically constitute the structural framework to support the stem of the plant. Okay, so the plant grows, it basically builds the girder system within the plant like steel, so to speak. O'z ko'rayotganingizdek, bu yerda steelni berishdan maqsad qanaqadir bast fiberni, ya'ni o'simlikni tanasini, o'simlikni demak asosini ushlab turadigan demak qismni, o'simlik qismini tushuntirish uchun berilgan ma'lumot bu. To identify the substance that has replaced fiber products, degan haqida umuman ma'lumot yo'q. Ya'ni fiber produktlarni demak o'zgartirish, o'rnini bosish yo'q. To explain the method for separating fiber from plant. Separating fiber haqida umuman ma'lumot yo'q. To compare the chemical structure umuman demak compare qilishmadi. To illustrate the function of fibers in the plant stem. To'g'ri, bu ma'lumot plantni, ya'ni o'simlikni tanasidagi fiberni funksiyasini haqida gapirish uchun gapirilyapti. Mana bu yerda birinchi ma'lumot berilgan. Mana bu yerda ham ma'lumot berilgan ikkita qismda. How does the professor mention a tube? Why does the professor mention a tube? Tube nima uchun? Tube haqida gapirgan. Keyingi qismni o'qishimiz kerak tube uchun. So suppose you cut across the stem of one of these plants. Take a look at how the bast fibers are arranged. So you are looking at a cross section. You will see that the fibers run vertically side by side, up and down next to each other, forming a kind of tube. Which is significant which is physically stronger, solid rod or a tube. The tube physics tells you that. What's essentially happening? Well, the plant is forming a structural ring of these bast fibers all around the stem. That shape allows for structural rigidity, but also allows for bending and motion. Demak, tube-ni nima uchun demak ma'lumot bergan tube haqida ma'lumot bergan sababi bu yerda stem fiberlarni qanaqa shaklda bir-biriga nisbatan va umumiy jihatdan stemda joylashganligini tushuntirish uchun. To'g'ri, mana bu yerda aytganimdek, to explain how some fibers are arranged in a plant. O'simlik ichidagi fiberlarni qanaqa joylashganligi, qanaqa strukturaga ega ekanligi. To show how plants carry water haqida umuman ma'lumot yo'q. Experiment haqida umuman ma'lumot yo'q. Why some cannot bend haqida ma'lumot bor. They can bend, ya'ni ular egala oladi, lekin egala olmasligi haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Shuning uchun ham birinchi javobni bu yerda olamiz. The lecture is about plants and plant fibers, not steel girders. What is steel girder? Let's just see steel girder. They make a long, thick piece of steel concrete that supports the roof. Floor, bridge, and other large structures. Mana bu narsa steel girder deyilar ekan. Katta armaturalar. Demak, davom etamiz. Demak, bu yerda o'z ko'rayotganingizdek metal strukturalar, armaturlar haqida emas, balki plant va platinum fiberlari haqida. O'simlik va o'simlik tolalari haqida. Professor mentioned steel girder only to compare them to structural framework or fibers. Steel girderni, ya'ni metal armaturani ma'lumotini berishdan maqsad faqatgina strukturasini taqqoslash edi. Shuning uchun ham bu javobda birinchi javobimiz bir bo'ladi. To'g'ri bo'ladi. Likewise, the second question also concerned the professor attempts to help students visualize the plant structure. Yana plant strukturasini ko'z oldiga keltirish uchun ham tub haqida ma'lumot berilgan. Shu bilan 7-savolga o'tamiz. Type 7, connecting content questions. Connecting content questions measure your understanding of the relationship among ideas and lecture. Ideas in the lecture, demak leksiyadagi ma'lumotlarni orasidagi demak munosabatni, o'zaro munosabatni demak tushunganlik darajamizni demak ko'rsatar ekan, belgilar ekan. These relationships may be explicitly stated, ochiqdan ochiq aytilgan bo'lishi mumkin. You may have to infer them from the words you hear. Yoki siz o'shani namyokini tushunib olishingiz kerak eshitgan so'zlaringizdan. The question may ask you to organize information in a different way from the way it was presented in the lecture. Boshqacha shaklda kurs demak so'rashi mumkin joylashtirishni. You might be asked to identify comparison, cause and effect, contradiction or an agreement. Quyidagilarni ko'rishimiz mumkin, topishimiz mumkin. Comparison, ya'ni taqqoslash, cause and effect, contradiction and an agreement. You may be also asked to classify items in categories, identify a sequence of events or steps in the process, specify relationships among objects along some dimensions. Demak, kategoriyalarga bo'lish, demak, qaysi biri birinchi, ikkinchi sodir bo'lganligini topish va narsalar o'rtasidagi, obyektlar o'rtasidagi munosabatlarni aniqlash. What type of symmetry do those animals have? Place a check mark in the correct box. O'z ko'rayotganingizda qanaqa simmetriyaga ega va to'g'ri qismga sechka qo'yishimiz kerak ekan. Sorry, in this question you are asked to present information in different format from what it was presented in a lecture. O'z ko'rayotganingizda ma'lumotlarni boshqacha formatda berishimiz kerak deyishyapti. Also, connecting content questions will require you to make inferences about relationship among these mentioned. Inference about relationship. Demak, o'ylarni munosabatdagi namyokni tushunishimiz kerak. You have to predict an outcome, draw a logical conclusion, extrapolate some additional information, infer a cause and effect relationship, specify some particular sequence of events. O'z ko'rayotganingizdek bir oqibatni predict qilishimiz, xulosa qilishimiz, qo'shimcha informatsiyalar haqida taxmin qilishimiz, cause and effect relationship ni topishimiz kerak. Va shunaqa. How to recognize connecting content questions? Connecting content questions quyidagi strukturalarga ega. What's the likely outcome of doing procedure X before procedure Y? Likely outcome so'rashyapti. What can be inferred? Nima xulosa qilinsa bo'ladi so'rashyapti. Imply ham so'rashyapti. Imply o'z ko'rayotganingizda ko'p qismlarda savol turlarini demak misoli va demak qism sifatida keldi. Tips for connecting content questions. Connecting content questionlarni qanaqa qilib ishlashimiz mumkin? Shu haqida tips. Questions that require you to fill in a chart or table or put events in order fall into this category. Demak, chart, table yoki eventlarni tartibda joylashtirish kabi savollar shu savollarga o'tarkan. As you listen to the lectures accompanying the story guide, pay attention to the way you format your notes. Demak, qanaqa qilib notelarimizni yozayotganimizda yozishimizga e'tiborli bo'lishimiz kerak ekan. O'z ko'rayotganingizda hamma savollarda ham bizni notelarimiz to'g'ri javoblarni topishimizda ahamiyati juda ham katta. Clearly identifying terms and their definitions as well as steps in the process will help you answer the questions of this type. Biror bir terminlar va ularning demak ma'nosini tushunish va protsessdagi bosqichlarni tushunish bu savollarga javob berishga yordam berar ekan. Professor. Why does the professor imply about orbits of Triton? What does the professor imply about orbits of Triton and Nereid? Triton bilan Nereidni orbitlari haqida, orbit ya'ni o'sha aylanadigan demak nima bo'ladi endi bu? orbit, ya'ni orbitasi aylanadigan hududi haqida nimani anglatgan yoki nimani demoqchi bo'lgan shu narsani topamiz. Okay, Neptune and its moons. Neptune has several moons. We'll probably only worry about two of them. The two fairly interesting ones. The first one is Triton. You have this little struggle with the word Titan, which is the big moon of Saturn, and the name Triton, which is the big moon of Neptune. Triton, it's the only large moon in the solar system to go backwards, counterclockwise aylanar ekan. Orqa tomondan, demak, staircase-dan qarama qarshi aylanar ekan. To go around it's what we call its parent planet, in this case Neptune, the wrong way. Okay, every other large moon orbits a parent planet in the same counterclockwise direction, same as most of the other bodies in the system. But this moon, the reverse direction, which is perfectly okay as far as the laws of gravity are concerned. But it indicates some sort of peculiar event in the early solar system that gave its moon an motion in contrast to general spin-off that it was formed from. Other moon orbiting Neptune that I want to talk about is Nereid. Nereid has the most eccentric orbit, the most lopsided elliptical type orbit for a large moon in the solar system. The orbits tend more like circular objects. Does it mean that Pluto and Neptune might have been related somehow in the past and then drifted slowly in their present orbits? If Pluto ever belong to the Neptune system, do Neptune's moon represents Pluto-type bodies that have been captured by Neptune? Was Pluto's object that disrupted the Neptune system at some point in the past? It's really hard to prove any of those things, but now we're starting to appreciate that there's quite a few junior Plutos out there. Now, big enough to really call it a planet, but not large enough that they are significant in the history of early solar systems. So we will come back to those when we talk about comets and other small bodies in the fringes of the solar system. O'z ko'rayotganingizdek, demak, Tritonni demak orbitasi, ya'ni aylanadigan demak hududi, demak qarama qarshi, ya'ni hamma demak solar system, quyosh sistemasida jismda counterclockwise, ya'ni demak soatga teskari shaklda aylanadigan bo'lsa, bu uni teskarisi ekan. Demak, buni aylanish strukturasi teskari. Nereidni aylanish strukturasi esa u ellips, ya'ni aylana emas, ya'ni ellips shaklidagi aylanish ekan. Bular nima demoqchi professor bularning orbitasi bilan? Ular boshqalardan farqlanadi demoqchi. They used to be closer together. Oldin birga yaqinligi haqida umuman ma'lumot yo'q. Evidence of undiscovered planet haqida ma'lumot yo'q. They had reverse directions in the future. Reverse directions haqida ma'lumot yo'q. They may have been changed by some unusual event haqida ma'lumot bor. Pluto tomonidan o'zgartirilganmi degan ma'lumot bor. Mana bu yerda mana yozilgan. What certain was Pluto's object that disrupted it at some point in the case? Bu yerda ma'lumot bor, disrupt bo'lganligini. Va yana bitta ma'lumot bor edi. Ya'ni bu o'zidan o'zi emas, balki qanaqadir ta'sir natijasi bo'lganligini ko'rsatadi. In connecting content questions, you will have to use information from more than one place in the lecture. Bitta joydan ko'p joyda bo'ladi ma'lumotlar. In this example, professor describes orbit of Triton and Nereid. In both cases, he refers to events in the early solar system that have changed and disrupted their orbits. O'z ko'rayotganingizdek, ularning orbitasini va disrupt yoki change qilgan ma'lumotlarga demak urg'u beradi. Shuning uchun ham javob 4-variant bo'ladi.